Lifted.
Nico Woods, ladies and gentlemen. Please, brother, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what we need to know about Nico Woods from the Bronx.
It's your boy Nico Woods, man, rapper from the Bronx, New York. My Twitter name is Goals. You feel me? Rap like Nico. I don't round about real life. I make real life rhyme. It ain't too many frills to it. You feel me? I do what I do because I love to do what I do. I do what I do because my homies love to see me do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really trying to impress too many people outside of my circle. I ain't really trying to prove nothing or change what I do to prove something or to accomplish anything.
Right.
You know?
Right, for sure. Well, I mean, music and the music business and having a career is very much about being judged, right?
Mhm.
So, where do you find that line of doing it for yourself, getting the love and support and feedback, and that feedback loop from the homies, but then also saying, you know what, like, what do the fans want to hear, or what does this audience that doesn't know me want to hear, or how would they, receive me? Because I know you perform a lot. Like, where's that balance, if any?
The balance for real is like in finding the audience, or rather letting the audience that's for you find you. Because I feel like that's not as hard as it sounds. Like, I'll just put my music out like on SoundCloud and shit, and like you get plays. You look at your analytics a little bit. You see where your plays are coming from. You see, little shit like that here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And you just start to like cater to those areas, to those demographics of people, and it's like you don't ever have to change too much of you because they already gravitate to what you're doing. And it's really like a kind of the way I got with my collective that I'm with. It's like your vibe attracts your tribe. You gonna find the right people in life for you regardless, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your craft is, your lane is, your creative medium. Even if it's not creative, whatever your medium is, you're gonna find the right people that you need to find. You're gonna find the right people that need to be around you just by being yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right. By being present, you find your gift.
Exactly. So just by being present and like creating the music that I create, like just wanting to express, just wanting to make myself feel better, get some shit off my chest every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not the most glamorous story, you feel me? But it's like, it's real, it's relatable. So somebody somewhere is always gonna fuck with it. Like, somebody somewhere is always gonna feel with where I'm coming from because they've been there before.
Yeah.
Like, everybody not talking about that shit because everybody talking about having the chains and the whips and this and that. And it's like, I ain't got all that. Like,
right.
You feel me? Like, I don't got that. So I'm talking about how I feel. I'm talking about the stuff I go through. I'm talking about some real relatable shit.
No
it's
doubt.
not the most glamorous, but somebody gonna fuck with it.
Well, you're keeping it very honest in your music, but you also sound hungry. A lot of people be honest, but they sound like salty, or they sound like, let's talk about that.
I want more. I definitely want it. Like, I want to be able to. I'm always gonna be honest. So it's like when I get the chains and the whips and shit, I'm gonna rap about it a little bit. Y'all gonna hear about it a little bit. I'm gonna be like, yeah, look what I got every now and again.
Yeah.
But
because you're still being honest about
I'm
this
being
shit.
honest.
Like, I'm not lying.
I just don't
see it on
right.
me.
I just don't have it right now, so I'm not talking about it right now.
Right.
I don't knock that kind of music. It's
Right.
just not where I'm at.
Right, and you don't feel like you have to be a now and later rapper.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to try to fake to be that because like they fuck with what I do now. They fuck with who I am now because it's like, yeah, he's a real person.
Yeah.
Like, and that's my biggest thing. Like, I want to always be a real person.
For sure. Let's talk about following the data. You found your tribe found you, with this data, in the sense that that's how they heard your music, I'm assuming. Anybody outside of the Bronx, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have family out here, or just a lot of partners out here?
Yeah, I got some people in Lank. I got some family in Lank. I've some chosen family in Lank as well, as well as some blood family, yes.
No doubt. But going back to the data, though, do you follow that data for shows and events, and do you take the squad on the road to get where the fan base is at? And if so, what does that look like? Hits, misses,
Definitely a lot of both. Definitely some hits and some misses, man. And you can't let the misses discourage you because it's gonna be just as many, if not more. But yeah, like the analytics, you look at what the plays are, you look at what the people are. You just look at where your engagement is coming from organically.
Mm-hmm.
And we've taken, like, we started in the Bronx, we came down to Lank. We spent like really like a year and a half really like cultivating a fan base and some family in Lank.
Yeah.
We've taken it up to like CT up in Waterbury.
Mm-hmm.
We have some family, like some tribe family up in Buffalo. We got some tribe family, people we've never met, but that are our chosen family now because of how they've engaged with the brand and buying merch and playing the music and sharing our stuff. Down in Florida, people we've never met. Like, we have people in Virginia, people that we look forward to having shows in those spaces so we can meet and connect with them.
Yeah.
A bunch of places, yeah. Honestly, it's been
I had killing these communes and shit. Yeah.
Yo, and it's like it's intimate, so it don't look like it's not always like a rage type concert, but it's like if you can fill up a venue with 40 to 50 people who fuck with you genuinely, and you don't have to do too much to get them there, like that's love, man. That's big.
Absolutely.
And they're not where you from. They don't know you. Don't have no stock in investing in you. No reason to invest in you.
They just fuck with the music.
Yo, they fuck with the music. They fuck with the vibe, and that kind of just reaffirms what you're doing. Like, yo, you don't got to be much more outside of who you are.
I love that. That's super dope. Give me 2 stories, right? Let's split this in half. Give me one story where you were expecting a good turnout, or not even turnout, but you were expecting something like, oh, it's gonna be woo woo, and then you get there and it kind of went left. And then also give me another story where it was like you ain't know what you was gonna walk into, but you was pleasantly surprised.
Um, we can start with the second one. That's easier.
All right.
Coming down the link in general. Joe, you've been talking to Joe for a minute. Like my manager Joe, that's like my blood cousin. Like that's family to me. And when we first started doing the music, he would hit me up and be like, "Yo, like I was playing shit at work, and like some of the people at work fuck with it." Or like, "Yo, I was coming in, I was going somewhere, like I heard one of your songs playing out here." Like, and I'm just like, "For real? Like
Mm.
that's I don't know nobody out there outside of the family. Like that's crazy to me."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, yo, I think we got something like growing here." And I'm like, "All right, well, we'll see." So we gave it like another like couple of years, putting out some more music, advertising, dropping some more products.
Mm-hmm.
And like his feedback was always like, "Yo, I've been bouncing it around out here. I've been passing it around, and people are gravitating to it." So we were just like, "All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's throw a tribe show in Link. Like, let's take the show on the road." So we had a show in CT the night before. The first time we ever came down, we had a show in CT the night before. So we drive from the Bronx up to CT. We do a show, 2 shows. Drive down the Link immediately right after, and the turnout was amazing. We might have had like 50 people or so out, like packed a room, 50, 60 people out.
What venue was it?
What was it? It was the TCP. It was the old
Okay.
TCP building. And it was like wow, like it shocked the shit
Yeah.
out of us because it was just like to be welcomed that warmly in a place that we've never been, where we don't know many of these people in this room, but to see them there for us,
Yeah.
that was really like one of the first moments that we was like, yo, we might be on to something, man.
What was that time frame like? Was that like one day and then 2 days later you had the show? Like how much was that time frame?
From him first ever hitting me up talking about, hey, look, like they like what you do out here. Like I think they like what you do. That might have been like a 2 to 3 year thing of us like slowly just putting stuff out, but never even coming out this
Right.
way. Just
That's got to be gratifying for sure.
staying up our way, putting things out slowly but surely, and then making its way out and trickling and spreading out throughout. Like that was big for us.
That's what's
like
up. You can't put a pot roast in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work like
you
that.
can't. You gotta slow cook some things, man. You gotta let it get tender. You know.
Yeah. So give me the other side where you was like, oh man, when I go here, I'm shutting down. I got all my folks here, and you pull up, and it's like, oh,
Yo,
I get out the car.
Our first time, matter of fact, our first time going down to Texas, we did a show in South by Southwest. Like we did a show for South by. This might have been like 2017 or 18 or so. Like when we first started doing it, we jumped the gun. Like, we are just getting into stuff, just hearing about festivals, and they're like, "Yo, South by is the thing. You got to throw a show down there. You guys got to go. You got to go." So we're like, "All right, bet." Me and 40 hop in. Like we're like, "Yo, let's do it." Like we bought some tickets. We get some hotels, like arrangements, and we go down there. We like meet a couple of promoters. We put a show together from scratch, and it's just like, all right, this is gonna be it. Like this is gonna be the thing. We walking down the strip, we seeing all these other shows. We're like, oh yeah, this is lit. Like this is gonna be the vibe.
Yeah.
And it was not the vibe. Like
where was the show at? Was it on 6th or
it was on 6th in one of these little bars. But it wasn't like a primary South by event. So it's like there's a bunch of people in this bar. Nobody gives a fuck what's going on stage though. Like they don't know
Put
us.
your fucking hands up.
We don't
please.
you ready to have a good time? And then it's just like just genuine noise, it's like crowd noise, people talking to each other, dancing, occasional drunk woo in the back, like, and not even for us, just for that conversation, like whatever that conversation was, just woo. Like, and it's rough. You kind of gotta like power through because it's like, damn, now we really just performing for us. Like they didn't come for us. We don't have a name. They came into the bar because they had like dollar shots or something like that. Like
I did a show like that at Dirty Dogs on 6th Street, but it ended up working out though. But it was definitely like a drinking crowd. Like we're here, we have this going on, but y'all come and drink. But that's what being an MC is about though. You got to just power through it, or you can command the crowd. But regardless though, you got to show up and show out. You know what I mean? Definitely. So salute to y'all, man, for going through that, because a lot of people won't even go through that to get through those growing pains. You know what I mean?
Yo, it's discouraging. A lot of people would like they put it down, they walk away from it when it gets to that level.
Yeah,
it's easy to be rubbed the wrong way, easy to be off put by it. But I think the most gratifying thing was the fact that we didn't, and we could look back at that shit now and like look back on those experiences and be like, yo, this is paying off.
Oh,
like, it hasn't fully paid off yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Funny story, right? Me and Z Rich one time went to Nashville, and he's like, yeah, I got a homie that lives out here. We got a place to stay. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, I met him at South by. I'm like, cool. And we had a show, and it was like hella late. We get there, it's like 2 a.m., but he's like, it's cool, man, pull up. We pull up, and he's like, yeah, y'all can just like crash right here in the living room. We walk in the living room, and there was nothing but axes. Like this white guy, he was in a sling, and it was axes everywhere. And I'm like, bro, if we die, we deserve it. And we didn't die, so we here. But yeah, man, but it's like, you got to hit the road. You know what I'm saying? Are you a risk taker?
Yeah, definitely. a lot more calculated now. Before it was really like all or nothing, like we all in, like let's do it, like the South by thing. Like you hear about stuff and you just taking these risks based off of the name of a platform or the clout of an event or the hype around something. We were taking like some real reckless risks early on. Uh,
Mhm.
and now that you get a little older, money mean a little bit more. You got some responsibilities
Yeah.
outside of that.
Yeah.
Outside of just music, you got to kind of be a little bit more calculated with the risks you do take. So yeah, we definitely do take the chances, but they're definitely calculated. They have to have some benefit in them.
Your mantra is I don't rhyme about real life. I make real life rhyme. Do you feel yourself chasing experiences so you can live that real life, or you can just, experience that to put it in your rhymes? Or how does that,
Uh,
relate to your music?
at times I do. At times I feel myself chasing those, like not intentionally, maybe subconsciously. I feel like I can't always create if I'm not living. Like so, the pandemic was hard. Like being shut down and being in the house and not being able to move as freely and fluidly as we were used to. That kind of like impacted my creative process a little bit. You got to dig
Hmm.
a little deeper, like when you're not out and about living. Um, but it just made me cherish like the conversations I was having a little bit more, like the relationships I have, the conversations, the books I was reading, the things I was tapping into. It makes you more of a thinker in that sense. It made me sit on certain things a little bit heavier, like made things resonate with me in a different way
Hmm.
than they previously would. Like conversations you take for granted in passing, now it's like you hold on to them. Words have a little bit more weight
Yeah.
because you got a little bit more time to sit and think with things.
Yeah. Do you meditate on those things and then and include them in your rhymes? Like, are you a storyteller for not only yourself but for the people around you? Is that kind of your style?
Uh Not as much. Maybe like every once in a while you'll incorporate some things just from the stories of the people around me, but I
Sure.
try to very directly, it does come from me. Very more often than not, it is coming from me.
No doubt.
Every now and again, you'll hear like there'll be like some embellishment of the people around me, but it's more often than not coming from me.
Dope, dope. So let's talk about the music. Like the project that you might have out now, and the content of that, and what's that vibe like?
SoundCloud Raps out right now. The name it's a project that's actually very important to me. The name makes me laugh. The name makes me smile. But it's a project that's very important to me. It's really just like a collection of freestyles and joints that I was performing when we first were getting this on the road.
Mm.
It was never available for streaming anywhere other than SoundCloud initially. Um, and it's like really kind of a vault project. We opened up the vault with it. People were asking for it to be able to access it in more broad availability.
Hmm.
So we just kind of provided that this year. We added some it's out on Audio Mac, it's out on YouTube. We got some music videos attached to it. Um and it just means a lot to me because it was the songs that allowed me to really kind of build the platform that we have and build the brand that we have and book these shows and get these opportunities that we've been getting over the years, like over
No.
the last like 2 years.
Yeah. So is this project for you, or is it for the fans? Is this for the tribe, or is it for the fans to
Um
to to get a closer look on what you've been through to get to where you're at now?
It's a lot of both. It's a lot of both. Like it's really for me. The making of it was for me. Because like I said, I went through that dark. Like being in the pandemic, I kind of shut down. Like as far as my creative process, it was hard for me at first because that shit was just such a culture shock. Everything got turned upside down. So in making these songs, like putting these little freestyles together, this was really like my first venture back into writing. Like I kind of just like delved back into writing, and these things were just to get me feeling good, getting me in a better space mentally, get me in a better space like physically, get me in the rhythm of rapping. Like it just felt good to get back to it. Um, and the people resonated with it so heavily that it allowed us to get where we got. So like putting it out was for the people, creating it was for me.
Mm.
Putting it out was for everyone else though. Doing the videos and that was for everyone else. But actually making the project was for me.
No doubt. So are you already looking ahead to the next project, and are you gonna like schoolboy Q it, where you're like, I'm just gonna go way left, and if you mad at me, that's what it is. And are
Um
you that type of artist and creator anyway, where you're like, I'm gonna do it for me, but I
uh
have to challenge myself and go way left?
Yeah, I'm working on my next two projects actually. I'm working on my survival EP that'll be out in the next couple of months. We've been testing some of the new joints and it's very much so way left than anything that's on the SoundCloud Raps mixtape. It's very much so way left than a lot of the things that my fan base has traditionally heard from me.
Hmm.
But I'm excited for it. Like it's a new turn, and then the project I'm working on after that, it's a project that a lot of my fans are familiar with. I've been talking about it for a minute, teasing it for a minute. Um, Sad Boy Raps album, that's going to be even more so left of what they're used to, and that's going to be very far left from what they're getting with this survival EP. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for the progression. I'm excited for the story. I'm excited for the reactions.
For sure, for sure. So while we're talking about progression, let's start at the beginning and rewind a little bit and talk about inspiration. And I want to just ask you about who your inspirations are. Is there a verse that you just that's in your DNA, and you're like, this is the verse that did it, or like that just moved you, or do you just have one that's in your DNA? Who's it from? Can you rap it right
I have a couple, and they're all from Jay-Z. If we keeping it a fucking buck, if we're keeping it a break,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all from Hove.
Okay. And I need an early one though.
I could do literally that first verse on Moment of Clarity is everything to me. The second verse on Renegade, his second verse on Renegade is everything to me. Even honestly, there's a couple Lupe verses too. Like his verse on He Say She Say. His verse on oh my God. This is so many that just speak to me, that like really like push me in. Oh man, like for Hove, like Pops died, didn't cry, didn't know him that well. Between him doing heroin and me stuck in a crack cell. Put that in the eggshell, standing at the tabernacle, rather the church, pretending to be hurt, wouldn't work, so a smirk was all on my face. Like, damn, that man's face is just like my face. So, Pops, I forgive you for all the shit that I lived through. It wasn't all your fault, homie. You got caught. But to that same game I fought. My Uncle Ray lost. My big brothers and so many others I sought.
Yeah, but so let me ask you, why does that resonate with you when it's something that's so personal with people that you don't know?
Because it's that ability to be vulnerable, that willingness to be vulnerable, to tell those stories, and it's like, that's not something everybody's gonna feel. That's not something everybody's gonna relate to. But that shit meant so much to him, and like you could tell, like he poured so much of himself into creating that the people who experience similar things, like hearing that at a young age, it's like it just sits on you. Like as I'm older now, I love the verse and I know what it means to me. As a younger kid, like as a 12 and 13-year-old, because when the Black Album came out, I might have been like 11. Like when the Black Album came out, I wasn't getting how heavy that was, how accurately that was depicting like the everyday shit I was walking through. And being older and looking back at it and listening to it now, even still, I can get the chills. And it's just like, I want to be that great. Like I want to be able to tell my stories as vividly and as honestly and as vulnerably. I'm making shit up now. That's what rappers do.
Yeah, right.
We rapping.
That's slang.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to do that and have it resonate with somebody, some fucking 11-year-old somewhere, or some 29-year-old somewhere down the line, some 30-year-old down the line, like where it's like, all right, yeah, it held the test of time, like the second Renegade verse, that had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles, pocket fills with a lot of lint, not a cent, got a vent, lot of innocent lives lost on a project bench. What you hollering? Gotta pay rent, bring dollars in. By the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling brave, a do-rag, wrapping my waves up, pockets full of hope. Do not step to me, I'm off. Do not step to me, I'm awkward. My pops left me off, and my box left you more often. My mama wasn't home. Could not stress to me I wasn't grown, especially on nights I brought something home to quiet the stomach rumbling. My demeanor is 30 years my senior. My childhood didn't mean much, only raising green up. Like, that shit was so heavy, because it's like growing up and you realizing that you and most of your friends don't have no man in the house. Like, it's dead. It's just y'all more often than not. More often than not, one of your homies' big brothers is the provider. You the provider in the house at 13.
Yeah.
Like, you got to feed yourself. You got to, you feel me?
Yeah,
like, you got to have mom's back. You got to do certain shit.
That's a lot. It's a lot. Let's talk about that record real quick. Oh, let me speak
Heavy.
on it. That song, I feel like that verse is probably one of the most slept on verses, but I feel like that verse would have been a lot better and hit harder on a different beat. Because let's be real, the Renegade beat is not that great of a beat.
No.
Like, it's like,
no.
Oh, you made this? All right.
I got you, bro.
I got you.
I got you.
But and then, like, let's be real, M like killed it. Like the way he flowed on it, his pocket was more for that.
The tone of voice, his inflections, his pockets and shit, it is accentuated for that type of beat.
Yeah.
So people just overlook it, and they like to be like, oh, yo, M killed him. And that's where I come in, like, it's a perspective thing.
Yeah.
What verse resonated with you more? M killed it. M did his thing, but Hove's verse talked to me. Like, he was talking to a very specific group of kids from a very specific neighborhood, from very specific places in time, that were still all over the country. As very specific as it was, there's kids in pockets all over the country, and a bunch of different little hoods that are like, yeah, I felt that.
Yeah, and he was the neighborhood spokesman too at that time. That was like that same era. Talking about the neighborhood, man, take us back to the Bronx. Matter of fact, just let's talk about New York. Let's talk about the scene right now. You perform a lot, you're super active, but I know there's a lot of different styles that's floating around. I know drill is crazy out there. Just paint the picture of the scene, where it's at now. What do you think it'll be in the next 3 years?
It's ever changing, man. I'm grateful for it. Like, I love the fact that it's ever changing. I love that it's not so one dimensional. I love that they can't bottle you in with that, like, yo, you you got a New York sound. Like, you don't sound New York. You don't sound like this. Because I feel like it's getting to a point where it's like, yo, what does New York sound like? I think there's still elements of the culture that come from us. Like, I think when you hear people like that hunger you were talking about, that hunger, I think that's a New York thing. Like, that wanting to rap is a New York thing. All the added elements of it, like New York artists are giving you the melodic stuff now. New York artists are giving you like the little TJs. They're giving you the drill. They're giving you the rap still. They're giving you the boom bap. So we have like all of it. And I love that. Like it's so multifaceted. We got Lil TJ. We got Ice Spice. We got Lola Brooke. I love Lola Brooke. We got Joey still. Like it's so much. It's so many of us. Like we got the God still. Like it's the Hove. Like we have so many different sounds coming out of the city. And that trickles down into the independent scene where it's low-key even more. Like, it might be even more sounds that just haven't become prominent yet coming from there still. Like,
what does that support look like? You know, I first started rapping in the Bay. And, like, if you rapped in the Bay, they was like, oh, hey, man, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, so what's it like in New York, though, as an independent, you know, 2023 out here? Like, do you get, like, hella love? Is it, like, what's that reaction like? Or is it, like, you know, they out there like, yo, but can you rhyme? Like, what's it feel like?
New York is mad. New York is still very too cool for anything. Like, so you're gonna get the arms folded, waiting to see what you do before they clap. And it's like we pride ourselves on that. We use that like ruler. It's like, yo, how many of them niggas over there? How many niggas over there in the corner? And they're pulling out their phones though. They was filming, right? You saw that?
They was clapping like this.
Yeah. We try to get those. Like, everybody's still very cliquey, very like, I don't want to, you know, be overzealous in supporting you until you prove that you're support worthy. So it's like, honestly, it's like, I think it breeds that sense of competition. Like, when I go other places, sometimes I just be so in that mode still that I be ready to, like, we be backstage and a beat come up, like, we rapping? Like, what we doing? And they be like, oh, that's a little aggressive. We don't do that over here. And I be like, my fault. Like, I wasn't trying to ruffle no feathers. That's just what we do. Like,
yo, pardon me, love. I ain't mean to,
pardon me, beloved. Like,
yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. But that's dope, though, that you carry the torch from where it all started at, you know, in that way. And you stay hungry and you're also humble, very real and honest in your music, man. I think that'll definitely pay its dividends going forward, if not for everybody to see, at least for yourself and your squad, because it sounds like and it looks like you got a real squad around you that's super supportive, man. So big ups to you and to y'all for that, because that is very rare.
Yeah, shout out to the tribe, man. It don't happen without them. Like, for real, I'm grateful to have the people I have around me. Like, people post, I be in the pictures, I be in the posts, I be in the videos. I'm sitting here doing this, but like, shit don't happen without Joe. Like, my man Joe Gray. Like, shit don't happen without Joe. Shit don't happen without 40. 40's always behind the camera. We don't get a lot of the footage and a lot of the clips and the content that we get without 40. We don't get a lot of the opportunities that we get without Joe looking for them. You know, like, the shit don't happen without them. And then the rest of the team, like the actual creatives, like, they keep me inspired, they keep me sharp, they keep me going. You know, like without Squid, like I don't want to try new things. Without Don, without BB&G, I don't want to like give that young energy. They keep me with that young energy to rap and want to be excited about rapping. Yo, Gray, Shay, Sean Elliott, the whole family, man. Like, I'm just grateful to have them. Breezy, like, genuinely, the reason I believe entirely, man. Like, my tribe is everything.
No doubt.
I'm grateful for them. Like,
no
for
doubt.
real. That's my guys, man.
For sure, man. Before we get out of here, look right in the camera. Tell us where we can find your music at and everything.
Yo, it's Nico Woods on everything. Rap like Nico on everything. My Twitter name should be Goals. SoundCloud Raps mixtape out now on Audio Mac on YouTube. One Man Can Change the World video on YouTube. Lemon Pepper video on YouTube. Go check those out, man. Stay tuned. We got a lot coming this year, man. Survival EP on the way. Sad Boy Raps album on the way.
No doubt, baby. Nico Woods, High Off Life TV, your boy Mike Sick. Listen, if you like a little soy sauce on your rice, holla at me. Mike Sick World. That's the social media. HighOffLifeTV.com. High Off Life merch is the Instagram where you can get the drip. All that good stuff, man. Till next time, get in the comments. Share this video with somebody. Share the freestyle with somebody. Go back into the archives. Share all the videos. Find something that you like. At least drop a comment, because that really helps our channel. Turning on the bell notification to get these bars right in your inbox. Peace.